Thanks, Liz. Yeah, it's the last time we'll see one of these teams this stage, and it's a real shame that we'll have to do it on what is probably both of these teams' best map at the moment. Marcus, NRG Academy having a really solid defensive record here. And attack, it's only because they haven't gotten to play that much attack. They've just won so well on defense more often than not that we have gotten to see that. So already I'm excited to see how much they have in the playbook for this against a composition that should be more fit to meet them here on this map.
Yeah, I think like if you look at that last map, it was very clear there were a couple of differences in how they were approaching it. And it was a little bit difficult for NRG Academy really to get anything online. And then they just kind of started hinting it towards the end. But, you know, new map, fight for survival, still very important. ADG, though, being that team that thrives off of a heat up. And so coming into this one, sure, like, compositionally speaking, they're very similar teams. You got the Neon instead of the Yoru. That's fine. But I think that ADG are coming into this one nice and confident. And if you can kind of get Chaotic, if you can kind of get Hugh to start to heat it up yet again, then this is going to spell a lot of trouble for NRG Academy to really shut those players down.
Now, we've seen the power of this Waylay Yoru execute. So it's a question of, are they going to be able to kind of recycle that on defense proactively, or are they going to be using a lot of retake leaning in order to kind of get that distance in one fell swoop? You have a lot of tools to either play preventative or wait things out and then just take it back in a full-blown brawl. It's all about just setting that stage.
And speaking of setting that stage, like I want to see the Waylay really start to set up a lot of plays here. We've seen the combination of just how powerful the Waylay kind of is, especially when you kind of toss that saturate down. But of course, the duelist being the person who's able to find it. Chaotic, though, finds Shondex with a nice little headshot after taking quite a bit of damage himself. And so that is going to be that Waylay, no longer available. Thankfully, Ren's still alive. So the Neon should still be able to get a lot of this space that you would have expected.
T-Dog's able to get Chaotic back to full, but at least this space has been given away. Snakebite to force a bit of a cut in, but the lurk in is not immediately fought. Floric! Oh, that's rough. And already you can see the mental playing a toll. Still you walk up. And yet again, the Sky proving to have so many tools to be able to stop something like this. Step back out. Renz catches the first, but Chaotic is just walking it down. It's just down to Giza. Nothing left in the toolkit either, and already been sussed away. And the stun can swing, still not enough. 73 HP, and Chaotic is low. Giza, having heard the tap, ready for the angle. The approach is one. Giza, no. Hey, NRG Academy gets a pistol out of that one.
Get in the backpack, kids, because Giza's gonna take you home. 4 kills on that round to make sure that they get that pistol round. And what felt like disaster was just continuously striking on the side of NRG Academy. Once again, Chaotic really starting to heat up. That should be, well, what you expect based on how that last map went. But it's moments like these where you see Bones and T-Dog go for the swing. And Giza's able to find both of them. It's unbelievable, exactly like you say. Still NRG Academy, they squeak by on the first. Bones, well, went for the peek, and Shondex finds Chaotic. And sure, took a lot of damage, but thankfully the overgrowth is available.
Yeah, one of the errors that has already been bottled back up. So ADG will try to play that checkpoint system as much as possible on this anti-EQ, give as many opportunities for NRG to make a mistake, because that is what got them so far on Haven. Quick little check. You send Shondex in. He's quick enough on the Marshall trigger, and that'll be a 2K for the Waylay now already before the real approach has begun.
It's like Shondex flicks away just at the last second as we see Sacred approach. There's no way, man. Everything was just against NRG Academy, but thankfully Shondex is able to secure that kill. Should be a lot easier. The rotation around this time. No smokes to be able to get put up unless Bones tosses one down preemptively, but T-Dog at least gets spotted.
Renz is gonna run that down. Counteracted by Paranoia at first, but the stunted swing again now leaves Chloric as that next checkpoint. Quick and easy clear, that just leaves it to Hugh. Just on the classic too. But so much time you have to spend just waiting for an exit or an explosion, you might just try and go for a backstab if you're gonna be out here this long anyway.
Bones unfortunately missing a couple of shots there. Could have made this a lot more expensive for NRG Academy. Instead, it's just the quick zippiness Dion brings to the table. Make sure this one happens. So, yeah, exactly like you said, Hugh. Be pushed forwards here, looking for potentially a kill, but they know exactly where he is. Giza finds that spray down. NRG Academy take the reins yet again, 2-0 now, as they're starting to feel a lot more comfortable compared to that last map.
Yeah, already a really clean start to this. Just denying a lot of the trap setups that ADG tried to fall into. And getting away with a couple of inserts on their own to continue forcing ADG to kind of second guess. But on this bonus, of course, you have a lot more room to get a little aggressive, get a little active here on the tunnel. You're not as scared as the iron sight sniper coming down your way, so you'll already cause a little bit of noise here. Bird used up on Bones, but Chaotic not spotted. Now the smoke on top to force the double peek if they decide to go for this, and they will. Entry in, refract back into the flash. The combo attempted by NRG Academy, but Renz's speed can't match up with it. He still can find Bones, who steps in instead, trying to catch a backstab on the crowd. That's a tough call.
And a beautiful microplay coming in from NRG Academy. Like, you see, as soon as they go to try and shoot the waylay, immediately the guiding light comes through, the blind gets activated, and then it feels like there's no choice but for Bones to try and push it out, especially given the fact that there's so many people just on the other side. So excellent play coming through from NRG Academy to start us off.
Got your trail.
Seeker's out, gonna catch Sacred pretty immediately here, so you can start swinging him. Just two on the vault thanks to his poison orb. Makes it a 3v3. Yeah, that's a quick two-piece. Still, NRG Academy just running forward. Chaotic popping out of the smoke, all down to timing, and he'll catch it.
Spike down, B.
Alone as the outlaw. I don't know how he picked this up, but there we go. Saturate on top, and Hugh catches it. So ADG will keep two standing for that intercept.
That's kind of crazy. If you ask me, it was looking like NRG Academy should have been able to walk away with the round. They go for those little cool micro plays, exactly like I said, to be able to set themselves up. Everything is looking fine and dandy. And then it just comes to Sacred finding an absolutely disgusting double kill, but then just the duelists being able to move in through the top there to make sure that they punish everybody else flying through. So, bit of an error for NRG Academy, and it kind of feels like, once again, they're just kind of walking into free gun space and getting mowed down in the midst of all of it. Let's see what they've got for us this time around, as, well, Bones still just going to be holding far forwards, but the emphasis on that defense is going to be towards that mid.
Paranoia on the early intercept, Bird, and then the relay bolt. No, that was Saturate to catch him, and then the relay bolt into the back hallway. They are really tracking him down, and all the while, Chloric on the lurk check catches Hugh early on, and now heads back into spawn to be ready for the second one. Looks like he's ready for it. Yeah, the Chaotic, as always, early out on the tower. The low altitude is managed, and yeah, Chloric, I mean, the discipline to stay back there all along just because you know how Sacred is, that's very admirable. And the rest of NRG Academy staying stoic on the bottom, not really getting too aggressive with the angles they were taking, and sure, you lose one or two along the way, but you come away with a round really commandingly.
I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm so impressed right now by Giza, specifically on this sky with those guiding lights. It feels like consistently the blinds are getting a lot of value for the rest of NRG Academy to move in, and it's always just so in sync with the push forwards from Renz and Shondex. And so once again, that initiator combo kind of working out in favor of NRG Academy, but aggressive this time. The waylay, well, it secures Chloric just off the bat.
Yeah, forcing the attention away so T-Dog gets a couple free seconds of peeking, but the rest of these players still just have to walk in dry, and yeah, you've got everything you need. Giza continuing to farm now with 3 on his belt this time. Bones just standing it down in B, seeing if there was a lurker. There ain't. So this will be likely a 4-1 here from NRG Academy after that eco goes awry.
And you're seeing why they were very comfortable leaving Giza on that veto earlier on, you know, on a mountain all alone, because Giza can pull off kills that are basically like that. Unbelievable stuff coming through from the sky to be able to make it happen. But once again, it just comes down to a good team up between the actual players on the map and knowing where to hold their angles, knowing where to be looking to make sure that they swing off of each other. Everyone's so hyper-focused, the sky goes completely unchecked to allow a crazy amount of pressure while Shondex just flies back over, still playing that distraction waylay.
I really like what Hugh is doing to just make enough of a ruckus to get ADG on. And Chaotic taking advantage of that, but not necessarily in ways that you would expect. Like, you don't expect him to go for these, like, mild step-ins just on top of his smokes. Like, not even a flash necessarily. Just walking it in and getting so much value out of it. Overdrive out from Renz on this approach, and the rest of NRG Academy can just sort of bulldoze what's left on the A site. So you've already got a 3v5.
Just opening up things completely. Sure, Dimensional Drift online, but Chaotic has this operator. I wonder if this is the round really to use it.
Tough for him to be able to grab any other guns from here. So you're hoping maybe he has a shorty in the pocket and then goes for the drift, but there's also not much time to justify using it. But like this, if you can't find anybody in the next 15 seconds, you might just be toast. Yeah, they go in now, and Renz eats like a king with this judge. 5-1 NRG Academy. This streak is up and running.
Yeah, that was great. Like, you look at the ultimate combo coming out from NRG Academy. I really like how they comboed those ultimates. The convergent paths happens onto that A site, and then one of the benefits of bringing Neon is that you've got another wall that you can just deploy. Harbor, where are you at? Because turns out Neon can do pretty much the exact same thing while running at you nice, quick, and easy. And then the overdrive just completely fries and overwhelms the defense for ADG on that A site. They're just simply not aware where to look, bumping into people. It's not exactly how you want it to go, but it will be enough for ADG to call that time out into this next round. Their buy is going to be a little bit scattered. They have a lot of ultimates, but personally speaking, I don't think this is the round that you pop any of them.
Yeah, it feels like you still try to play slow if you can. Just try to cradle a lot of what NRG has, because again, you don't have that Yori. You have to have Renz be the one that rushes in. So if you give enough space to the approach, save for maybe like Geeze's bird, nothing's really gonna catch you until you go for that retake game. So if you can find a way to drain that well early on, and then maybe you can justify an ultimate where it's not getting diffed or kind of cushioned, then it feels like ADG can really win on the firepower game. It's just about finding that opening consistently. And NRG Academy, I mean, they're busting the door down with what? A fast lane, a bird, and a saturate, and that's it. And then they can use the rest to just counterplay. It's so, like, minimalist right now, and it can't be if ADG wants to get more on the board.
Yeah, like NRG, it's exactly like you said. Nice, simple, and easy, right? Like, you know exactly what they're going to be running at you with, but it's just so effective. And then on top of that too, like ADG, even confirming the information, are having a tough time trying to back out and be able to play their lives. When that flood-in happens, they just get run over and then, you know, collapse in their spots. And so I need to see ADG either setting up a couple of trap plays or being a little bit more careful and proactive, exactly like Bones is doing now.
Yeah, ready for this walk-up from Shondex, a triviality dealt with very quickly. The 2-2 split from NRG Academy, still keeping the weight shifted, though, as Andrew's gonna toss a smoke in to maybe keep them guessing. Yeah, wow, they faked the fake. Or
drift, though,
is it all a ploy?
Yeah, it gets all that information, so now he knows, and okay, yeah, teleports back, but still, they get that information, no one's there, but that's plenty of time for NRG Academy to be able to continue to work the map. So ADG still don't really know what NRG are thinking.
Poison Orb has done a lot of work for Sacred in the past, and the Relay Bolt is going to give away that presence, at least in the beginning of it. Sacred swings onto the first, finally counterfrag, but still a 2v4 now for NRG Academy as they make their approach onto the B site, and Bones is not checked at all on the drop. A taste of NRGA's own medicine given back to them in spades, and ADG get another round on the board. Sans just 3 ults, Marcus. They used a couple, but it worked.
And just like that, the Bucky finds immense value there, which is something you're not really expecting, and Bones playing in an undistinguishable position there. And you can see, like, NRGA are like, haha, we got them on the ropes. We're gonna run into their spawn, kill them there, and be able to find them, but Bones goes completely unchecked. One drop down. Okay, you know where the other is. Let that paranoia go loose, and you secure the second kill nice and easy. Fantastic, just chill out zone for ADG. Bones starting us out with that first kill and closing us out towards the end. Viper Spit deployed very early on, but Shondex already so forward. Finds Hugh before the actual smoke gets deployed.
And no refract available either. Hugh is just out in no man's land, wandering, waiting, thinking that Pit was going to cover him in time, but if there's anybody that's going to be able to meet that waylay, it's the other waylay. And now it's Chloric that ends up making that distance on top of the screen. That's going to eat so much utility in his face, and it still takes a millennium to get to him still. Bones nips it in the bud, and the Bird able to play preventative so that NRGA still question themselves getting on. The Seekers will change that, though, and track down the two standing on the site. Make it 3. Everybody's walked down, and the Toxic Screen can't do a thing now.
Man, these flashes are just so good. Coming through, and Chaotic able to find Reds.
Always that tower presence still just a thorn in their sides, and the TP available from ADG actually sells that NRGA has a better chance here on the Heaven Peak, and maybe they do now that Peas has been able to hold his own in the Ditto, but Bones taking that off angle, still surviving on 5 HP, trading away that damage against Shondex, as his opponent is still kicking, takes out Ange, and it's Shondex alone now. 38 collective HP in the books on this lobby, and Bones escapes with a 4th kill and a 3rd round for ADG.
Oh man, that kill coming through from Hugh with the operator. So important to let ADG know what the heck is going on. Like the NRG Academy, they call that audible halfway through, and then you see immediately the call gets made to just kind of swap things around. But then oh sorry, it was Chaotic who found the op kill, but once Chaotic does find that kill and confirms that information, they can cancel the TP for Bones. That leaves that A site still reinforced, and then Bones just playing so smart around those corners. It's textbook, it's beautiful, and Hugh going in fast this time. Convergent has activated, but not able to secure any kills.
You've got to get aggressive in this ultless round here if you want to silence that eco, but Ange nailing Bones on top of his first. Nice headshot by T-Dog. It's just not enough on the Phantom to catch Renz on his run back, but still you have a lot of util that continue to play keep away on the site itself, so NRG Academy are a little bit stuck, but ADG are just not present here yet. I mean, Chaotic is still waiting on screens to see if anybody's lurking, but the plant is going down.
That's going to be 3v5 here. And okay, ADG.
Wow, yeah. What a call.
Yeah, and it's just like they decided to back out given the operator is so expensive, and sure, their economy is overall good. They could have made an honest try at it, but they actually just decide, hey, let's just save the sniper rifle and try to make this one work. So this will give NRG Academy their next round. But hey, very good heads up play coming through from NRG Academy to make sure that they counter the convergent paths right off the bat. And the fact of it too, Ange able to just completely slip by, completely surprising the members of ADG. Hugh and Bones caught in the midst of that Omen, just being able to navigate around. So great kind of play there for NRG Academy to get out that ultimate and survive in the midst of all of it.
And now they can, you know, get that cycle going again for themselves, knowing they didn't have anything. It seems like ADG really wanted to pounce on them before they could gain any positioning, but like you said, you have too many things to sidestep. Even the second those barriers drop, you've got to keep draining that well. You've got to get rid of some of these kits before you can safely go stack for stack here. I mean, just NRG's approaches look so clean once they're fully netted. It's just about stopping them before they can compose themselves, and they've done that so many times from here on the tower in B main. Chaotic now bringing that operator from screens back over to this site that's been heavily contested, and Renz with that first dash out is going to force it to a mere peak. Now Chloric on the mid takes care of that tower presence in Hugh. Sacred standing atop, dealt with as well by Renz, and this is another quick convergence that's only stopped by the spear tip.
Ooh.
Chaotic now down on the pit. Chloric himself able to manage it, and it's another dominant round by NRG Academy. T-Dog already on the way out, having to just give this away once again. And NRG Academy look to rinse and repeat with an ult cycle that now looks dangerous.
Yeah, it's, you know, I made that joke at the start of this matchup here about face-off, you know, swapping styles and all that type of stuff. But NRG Academy this time, it's just so aggressive that they go in there. And then as soon as you see the pit get deployed, Chloric moving forwards in the midst of all of it. Usually when the pit gets deployed, you hide your Viper, right? You want the Viper to stay alive. And no, it was all just deployed to bait you forwards so Chloric can find a kill. It's so beautifully executed, but NRG Academy, they're now up into the 4th gear. They're looking to continue to speed things up, and honestly, it's been looking really good against the ADG's defense thus far. ADG are just not super prepared for the speed that NRG Academy are kind of flying at them with, and they're no longer being able to secure those first bloods, which really felt like it was pivotal in making sure that it was going to be ADG running away with the round.
The most regulation attack that NRG Academy have played on this map so far this stage. So you would understand why ADG are trying to play so close to the problem, so quick to the issue, so that you're forcing NRG Academy to just go through their attack plans a little more often, a little, you know, become a little inconsistent. But bare bones base execs, honestly, haven't really been deterred. Unless ADG, again, play the util well properly here. Find those ISOs. Now it's just a walk-up by Shondex this time to gain this space. In this half buy from ADG.
I'm so worried about Sacred with the Bucky in hand, but I think, well, the dog should be able to spot it out and, well, actually hides that shotgun information. So still a little bit unknown. Renz, the eye of the beholder, knows what happened last time. They tried to just zip in through there, so will smartly think twice about that. Meanwhile, on the other side, Chloric has been doing a good job at least controlling the space here, but T-Dog finding that, so will guarantee the information of where these players are going.
This is such a weird angle for Chaotic to be holding, and that's why he's able to get a freebie out of it. Doesn't TP away before getting traded back. Space not fully taken. Sacred has been able to drop down. The fast lane fades, and that'll let Renz get a free sight onto Sacred, then a free swing, then a free kill. Bones' paranoia doesn't stop him, but only gets that trade back. Giza able to quickly close off that as well, and ADG's threats have only been counteractions one at a time. Now comes the double stack, but it's a 2v2 that NRG Academy so easily win. Everything just feeling like a speed trap, but NRG Academy keep going 110.
And the last two players to be able to close that one out, Ange and Giza. Giza has been having an amazing performance today. Ange had an amazing performance yesterday. And so both these players so confident in being able to hold this crossfire. You know, cross their T's, dotting their I's, making sure that no one's going to be walking away from there. And exactly like you said, the ultimate cycling for NRG Academy is looking sublime. They've got the convergent paths, they've got the overdrive, they've got the seekers as well. Lots of tools for them to work with to try and find this 9-3 half. On the other side, I do like the positioning that Bones has been kind of getting in, you know, figuring out what's going on. But unfortunately, it hasn't been enough to really secure any of these rounds in the past three. And unfortunately, now we have a little bit of a tech pause, so we're going to have to do a little bit more of a waiting game before we get this last round in the half.
Got some time to ponder. So, my eyes are on Chaotic for this take back, because you see that one away from the drift is so tempting. You think if Chaotic gets enough information to get a free orb, or has that sight line down the big cave to maybe get a free kill as well, there are options to allow for, you know, a free foot in the door, but they're all a little risky. They all require having either T-Dog or Hugh throw either a bird or themselves, respectively, out into the open. Give yourself that space, and only temporarily, because NRG Academy have so many ways of taking space back, especially on their side of the barrier. It's so hard to justify doing anything first if you're ADG, because you have so much less, but you have to initiate and force NRG Academy to use it or lose it, really, as early as possible, because you have a lot of time to play with, and NRG Academy like to get this done early.
And that's the thing too, like, you look at the composition that ADG have. If I'm being, if I were to just try and figure out how I would want to counter some of this type of stuff, I would group up the double duelists, you know, play off that waylay combination and allow the Ori to kind of go in there, find that spacing, because both of those agents could just get out so quickly. You know, the TPs are going to be fantastic to make sure that you can kind of get in there, and if the saturate lands, you find a kill, you stop it nice and early, and then you back out nice and fine. But of course, that's not really what we've been seeing. We've been seeing that buddy system getting set up there, but it really is just that original kind of skirmish, exactly like you said, that NRG Academy just simply are winning. And once again, if I had to highlight somebody, I think those flashes have been looking phenomenal from Giza. I still cannot believe how often it is, like, from the observer perspective, when we're on the ADG players, how often they get flashed just as Renz is running into the site.
Yeah, you're able to also just elongate how much time you can wait before you have to use one of those birds, because you have people like Renz who are just willing to sort of run out and be that scout for you. That's so difficult to hit that you get those extra couple inches in, you get that extra corner that you can clear with the bird, and then you instantly get that much more space. It's what makes a lot of the B execs look so dang strong coming out of that garage initially, because Renz can kind of just step out whenever he wants to. Giza can just threaten that bird hanging over everybody's head for the long term, and then finally when they get on, you can launch it up to the tower, you can launch it up to, over to Link, you can launch it behind the boxes, you can clear out basically the rest of that space in several different ways. To allow for really anybody, including Renz, to swing out on top and take that kill. So there's so many options available for ways for NRG Academy to take this, let alone using the strats they've already rinsed and repeated. So I keep drifting back to, you know, your diversions, your double ups, your second wins that you have in players like Chaotic and Q on that double duelist, where you're able to kind of shuffle through, not just with the double swing, but with the refract, with the gate crash, to where you can force NRG Academy to make so many second guesses and so many extra decisions, waste another 15 seconds, condition that there could be alert, condition that there could be, you know, a convergence on the site. Just force some level of flowcharting out of NRG Academy.
Yeah. And that would really help too, because then they have to use their utility to clear some of those open spaces. Giza's flashes sure are good on site, but they've also been used to kind of clear out those off angles, right? So, you know, if you had a little bit more difference, then gives a better opportunity. Convergent path is going to be online.
On the site as well, which is why he was gotten so close. I mean, this is just a great preparation from Azure Dragon, just understanding exactly how NRG Academy was going to approach a round like that, and they countered it in spades. The stack present, convergent paths didn't hit a damn thing. That was a spit in the face for a last round of the half.
Yeah, what a way for that round to end. We were like, oh yeah, let's just take this nice little tech pause, calm everything down, nice and easy. And it's over in 15 seconds. Wow, who could have seen that one coming? And honestly, if you took a look at the buy, maybe you did, just because T-Dog had an Odin in hand. And we've seen what happens, specifically on Breeze, when T-Dog has an Odin in his hands, going up against NRG Academy. But now, we will be swapping sides around. And this is where I anticipate we're going to be seeing ADG start to really get their attack online. I want to see those waylay combinations I've been talking about. They've got that double duelist for a reason. They're good at just diving in with it. Let's see Magic kind of strike as they start to attack here on Split.
Step out. Oh, Florix approached quick. Yeah, I didn't expect Chaotic to just be walking it down like this. Mid's now opened up. NRG Academy split. They got to make the call of where they're going to put their weight more often. And it's got to be this A side. Giza just prepared for it. Bird doesn't mean a thing. Now he has his own, and it's going to open up the whole site again for shondex and Giza to just go crazy on these pistols once more. Bones entirely crunched on, and Sacred from on high, able to get him. It's going to have to be a fourth for him in order to save the round, but by God, he just might do it.
Oh man, this is going to be tough too. Ange does still have the paranoia, should be able to go shopping for a weapon potentially. The time is ticking down. Sacred lower HP means this is a little bit more possible, but Sacred's just been on fire lately.
It's to re-breach the screen, right? No, it's not back up in time. He just walks it in. There it is. Oh! The full 4K to get Azure Dragon back in this game. I mean, that looked so decided. Once the take was done, they slid in. They had the back angles that they were dipping back from. Yeah. And then Sacred pops out on Heaven and just denies.
Yeah, I was going to say like a good hold coming through, and then it's just one tap, two tap, three tap. Oh, look at that. I've got the whole site. And then it's just a complete guessing game at the end for how they're going to be able to just find that positioning. And unfortunately, not able to do that, so ADG will pick up this pistol round. And Sacred, once again, going for the brawl. A little bit more whiffy this time, but same for Giza.
Yeah, used up all his aura points in that first one, but luckily he's got him down to half. Misses out on the double swing, so shondex can trade it back, but still, the stack is over on the B site, and NRG Academy is just not equipped enough to handle it, surely. Dog has to do a lot of prior checking. The paranoia will catch Bones, but he's short-sighted, not blind-sighted, so he's able to just get away with both.
SMG's really showing their hand yet again. Tale as old as time at this point. Bullets go boom, and suddenly just like that, you get run over. A little bit of uncomfortability at the start of this round, but finally Spike goes down. shondex and Korik just looking for potentially exits or a couple of kills, make it pad the economy just a little bit more, but I don't imagine this is going to be a real attempt at a defuse.
Yeah. Just playing for somebody who gets greedy, I assume. Here we go.
Time to jump.
Let's see it. Got a head tap here. I mean, that's a weird walk up for you to take, Chaotic.
Sometimes you forget how long the sniper rifle barrel is, you know?
Enemy remaining.
All right, well, you'll get rid of Cloric on the way down. Shondex will guide us back? No?
Should be able to. Yeah,
Yeah,
this is
okay.
what you want to do. Yeah, this is the play.
Yeah, this is what you want. Yeah, this is what you want.
Yes. Boom, and just like that, you'll be fine. No getting hit by a bazooka here. And yeah, ADG, pretty expected, exactly like you said, be able to walk through the paranoia gives that nearsightedness. Make sure that Bones can just kind of continue to walk in there and spray things down. But now this is NRG having full rifles coming through, and let's see how they want to set up this defense this time. I imagine we're still going to be seeing Sacred poke A, maybe not actually. The conditioning is beginning because the wall gets set up here and you're expecting Sacred to continue to try and take that duel, but is not actually going to be the case. An emphasis on B towards mid here, and at least NRG Academy are very aware of it, but they're still gambling on that A site. It's going to be up to Ange to be able to find a kill and get out.
Shadows traveling.
Hyper-aggressive util has channeled Cloric back into the A vents, so you forced a 3-2 very early on here. But that bird from T-Dog doesn't nail any space from ADG and even forces the regrowth onto Chaotic to get him back to full. Ange can still watch this on top of his smoke, about to get cycled away, and you have a 5-second window in which you can breach this. ADG's gonna take it. They're stacked. They're in. Chaotic far ahead as always. Gate crash is up and running. The smoke back in, and there's the take, doubling back. Chaotic is the one that finds the distance and the kill. But Ange still gets one on the way down. Oh, Sacred. How has he found it? Cloric is ready. So 4v3 for the post plant. That still hasn't initiated yet because ADG haven't found a safe passage. Now they have.
T-Dog as well able to get the rifle upgrade here. Bone's gonna just take a step away from that spike, and you can see already Cloric going for the flank, but will be checked potentially by T-Dog as the Sharks are gonna be swimming in.
Nothing really seen on that first light speed. Now there's Cloric with the wrap.
Enemy remaining.
Gotta check for him too. Too much in your face. Surely it's done there, and indeed. 3 rifles stay standing for NRG Academy's bonus. But that felt a lot more step by step. Felt a lot more like there was stuff in your way. So ADG have a lot of ways in which they can force NRG to second guess and slow things down and reduce the options going forward here.
And I want to highlight Ange there, and I'm glad that the replay started with an Ange clip just there, because I think Ange does a fantastic job at playing around the smokes. Whether or not it's the Viper wall, whether or not it's their own shadow smokes or anything like that, Ange is consistently able to just kind of play around it, secure a kill or a couple, and then make it that much more painful. And so if you are EDG, you have to be keeping an eye on this Omen, because pretty consistently, Ange has been able to successfully navigate around and surprise the opponents. So ADG just losing someone pretty early on is not how you wanted that last round to start out here, and immediately you can feel the presence of that Omen, the pressure that is being exuded. So ADG, they poke a little bit, they use up the flash, but they will be backing out here and will be regrouping with Sacred all the way there. And the Seekers, though, should give NRG a heads up as to what is going on this map.
It'll let Cloric head back over to the tower instead of holding himself up in vents like before, but even so, he had to use his bite and his orb on top of the dog to make sure that there wasn't a full-blown mid-push. So NRG Academy are still kind of split ends right now. That being said, with enough noise made from those Seekers from the screens, ADG may have been convinced that they need to head back towards mid. That's now bolstered up by Renz holding with that judge.
Oh boy, and the smoke gets deployed as well. More room to play with. Flash goes out.
Oh, bird into the saturate should pretty easily catch him, but Ren still manages to land the double shot into his own relay bolt, but T-Dog still manages to get away with the trade back, so now that neutral space is Azure Dragons. And all the meanwhile, Chaotic has made his way all the way back to the screens. Both members of NRG Academy on A site holding behind the map. Bones, first to poke out. Now you head back to the screens where Chaotic is waiting. No way they expected, right? 12 seconds to go. Giza's still behind the maps, and Shondex ready on the double swing.
Let's go.
It's all managed by just those two, and it gets NRGA to double digits.
We love a good distraction, Neon. Oh no, actually it's Shondex on the waylay this time. I love these little plays, and we see it quite often in VCL where, you know, the waylay is so distracting and you see them dash out, so you're like, okay, that must be clear. There's nobody gonna be there. And then suddenly somebody pops out and you're like, what the heck are you doing here? And it's just free kills. Like, sure, the Neon is distracting because you kind of have to throw your mouse around trying to track the power slide. But at the same time, the space that Waylay does, nobody ever expects there to be two people kind of hanging out there because the Waylay can quickly escape into, you know, somewhere where you can't get shot. And so as a result of that, there's so many of these cheeky little timings that we get to see other players playing around the Waylay get to utilize. That's one of the big reasons why you see the Waylay get brought into this, just simply because you don't need your scan initiator anymore. You just send Waylay in and immediately recall. And you get to set up a lot of these cool trap plays to try and confuse your opponent more so than you would expect on other duelists.
And funnily enough, we've seen that in tandem with the Yoru a lot of times here on Split, that NRG Academy have actually been pretty adept at being able to intercept. In particular, Giza, with these birds, he's just found a way to get a cut in the side of that opening. And sure, part of it's timing, but also part of it is just the fact that even having two people on top of that opening push still might not be enough if you can't make up that gap in time. And you see that where, for even that momentary gap, you're able to split responsibility among two players on the defense, and that, a lot of the times for a team as good as NRGA, is all you need.
And all that pressure just at the start of the round being mitigated by all the smokes on the side of Azure Dragon Gaming, making sure that NRG Academy don't get up to any shenanigans, and it denies the information off of that guiding light. So NRG Academy not too sure what's going on outside of that A site, and that's why they continue to reinforce it. Meanwhile, Azure Dragon Gaming doing a good job getting this wrap around. But off the Trailblazer, I imagine they're going to start pushing up mid.
Yeah, this is the farthest that the dog has gotten, and it's already going to try and get him to feast on Chloric. It was a trap play to set up Renz, but it's Chloric that nets that trap play first. Renz has to run away from the saturate and give the site over to ADG, but still has this cross. No smoke to help him out either. So he might be able to get away with something. No, everybody's going to wait until the pit's up in order to get anything going, but Shondex and Giza on top, caught early, caught! No, Shondex gets two on the way down, so it's Ange alone. But he's still got a lot of distance to make up.
Relay is still available here.
Well, you could at least clear the board here on your own side, but you have to get your first. If you feel safe about it, and Bones has the sights up first. A thrifty to get ADG back off the chopping block, if not for now, 3 rounds down.
Man, that was a sick play though. From Shondex doing the just swipe across the screen, finding 2 kills, just goes for T-Dog and then somehow finds you in the midst of that cloud. As soon as the Viper's Pit gets deployed, it's just that much more difficult, and a lot of those advantages that you afford to those weapons gets just wiped off the board, especially for some of that longer range stuff. This time around, we're going to be seeing Shondex step up to that operator role. It's a new look for him, but at the same time, it's going to be Renz with the judge in hand. Dimensional drift, confirm a little bit of space, and the Seekers to confirm that knowledge. T-Dog finds the spray.
Wow, yeah, that Seeker just gonna track down Ange, who walks it down for a millisecond and gets punished for it. Rest of ADG easily walks onto site, and that's a second for T-Dog, just looking through smokes. Now you can set up shop pretty easily here. Giza in the poison orb of all things gets hit, but now T-Dog able to stack a third as this spike keeps ticking away. Now confirming Shondex with the bird. This guy's doing it all this round.
Oh boy, yeah, that was the most painful part about all of that is it's through the smokes, right? Like, it's just like, no idea. I'm just gonna spray here. Oh, nice, I got a kill. Spray through another smoke. Oh, nice, I got another kill. Like, it's almost frustrating if you are at NRG Academy because you're not even given a chance before it's already over. Still a good job for him, ADG. We do see them use a couple of ultimates to try and make that one work just a little bit better, but Shondex at least should be able to carry this rifle forwards, but does just have to be careful.
There you go. Oh no, look out!
Oh, T-Dog with 4!
Tragic, yeah, give it to him. He's the one who deserves it at this point. Now top fragging for his team too, 13-13-8. Not too shabby at all. The enabling that he's been able to do is getting on the level that Giza was able to on NRGA's attack, necessary for when you need a player like Hugh to be more active than enabling for someone like Chaotic to conquer. Really strung together with these active flashers for ADG's attack to work, and it'll necessitate the first of timeouts from NRG Academy here. Is the gap is now 2, and you have to go to an eco now. So, what exactly are you trying to get done here? Because ADG, I mean, there's no telling when they're going to be able to decide to spring this 5-stack. In fact, they might wait a while to maybe farm an orb or 2 if Hugh could get away with one.
I was just about to say, like, looking at the ultimates, could potentially come out online. I think this next round for NRG Academy, not necessarily the one that you're anticipating to win, but if Renz dies, that means Overdrive will be on for next round. Chloric 2 away from having the pit available, which is such a good tool on defense specifically. And so there are opportunities here for NRG Academy to get some of those ultimates ready so that they can proc them in the next round. On the other side though, ADG, like you said, Hugh, having the convergent paths online could be really helpful, especially in the face of dueling convergent paths. So I imagine you're going to be trying to get Hugh that ultimate, if not for this round, for the next one.
Already the chip.
Ow.
And the finisher, Chaotic. Dividends, baby. And now you're, I mean, already kind of stuck on one option here, aren't you? Might as well just twist the knife.
Gotta go.
Yeah, Ren's just going to be backing out of that one right now. 10 HP. Hey, Giza.
Not having any of that.
Give me some of that good old nature health that's going to make me feel better here. And so we'll be able to get healed up, but still, like, one tap from any of these weapons is going to be more than enough to take down any of the members from NRG Academy.
Just a couple T's crossed and I's dotted in mid to make sure that this B push can go off without a hitch, but
Wow.
it still can when Giza's birds are still looking this clean. So you don't have the distance. Now Giza has the shots.
boy.
Big bird back, though, from T-Dog. Opens up that entire lane into the link and lets Bones and Sacred go buck wild. Ren's still alive, though, to turn it to a 1v1. Hey, calm down, y'all. But it's 9-10 regardless.
Yeah, and it feels like consistently Sacred is finding them all lined up. And so a nice little, like, spray down is going to be more than enough to make sure that you find that kill there. So little unfortunate here. A nice little trap play coming through from NRG Academy, especially given the waylay, flying into the back there, the stun up. You think you'd be able to secure the kill, and just like that, the Viper pops round completely unspotted. But now ADG in spitting distance of NRG Academy. One round, try and make this one happen. NRG though, like I was talking about, a lot of ultimates at their disposal here. They need to make this round stick if they want to stabilize their economy.
He's a birding out the gate, nothing on top of it, but it'll just, yeah, let Shondex hold that more confidently.
Yep.
The drop lets Shondex get away with a second against spin the whole time. It's flawless. Tragedy strikes ADG as they got to reset yet again, and it's 11-9.
So no ultimates, actually. I take that back. That's my bad, NRG Academy.
Yeah, let's not use a
with your
damn
game.
thing this round, bro. What?
And this is an interesting one from ADG, where it feels like their flood-in has been so consistent and making sure that they're blocking off all the angles. They just blind swing into that long sight line to allow the operator to really sing, and then Giza goes completely unpunished, hanging out on the site. It just simply came down to them not checking all of these angles and not playing as together. And so, let's see how this plays out this time. Chaotic, though, starting us out with the first blood again.
He's been here before, and he will get away with one again, and then TP's out immediately after. This is the kind of flood that ADG were looking for, and now it'll get pile drive by those ultimates
Oh
on top
my
of
God.
it. And just though Giza still comes away with in heaven and still gets out scot-free. ADG now having to make that blind approach. The snake bite will delay Chaotic on the ramp, but the spike is down with a lot of room to spare, and now the Seekers in response from Giza into the bird for heaven to make sure nobody's immediately on top of it. That's to escort Chloric in as ADG have to get tighter and tighter. T-Dog on this opener from the back hall. Sacred catches the screen presence. T-Dog gets all the
Yikes.
rotation in. And
Oh, no.
He calls his own against Chloric. A war on all fronts won by Azure Dragon to stay in this match.
Now that is a motivational booster and a half. Fantastic stuff coming through from ADG. They just hold their ground, and the double swings coming through from NRG Academy are just a little bit discombobulated, a little bit mistimed. Giza trying to make sure that it is a winnable scenario, puts them into just that, but the double duel is falling down to T-Dog just with a spray down. Should not be happening. That's the whole point of that double swing. NRG Academy, maybe it's finally getting to them. Maybe they're starting to crack. ADG looking to secure their spot in playoffs, and boy, they've been heating up here. Chaotic not able to find that first blood off that first shot.
Chomping at the bit, though. He's gonna keep looking for that elbow to hit, and until then, ADG can keep window shopping. This ramp presence has been really solid. T-Dog's been the one to enable it, though. Instead, this is just an insert for Sacred.
Toxins going up. Poison orb emitting.
Again, are they gonna try and crunch Chloric? He's been here a million times. That sees him.
It's good, the information, but at the same time, like, I don't know that they're aware that Sacred is still all the way up there. Chloric making the right call, though, to rotate around and keep that punch onto middle. Should be able to escape this time, but has to be careful of that flash.
Right at the ready, there it is. And the convergent pass. Oh, Chloric's not checked! 3-2 for him. And the convergent pass won't get a damn thing. You can't even collapse on top of it. Sacred on that insert, caught by the bird, though. But that keeps 2 over in screen, so you could lean B here pretty easily if you want. Oh no, they're gonna try and carve A instead.
Yeah, there was a second of indecision, not too sure where to go, but Sacred's just like, don't worry, I've got the sight. We at least got Heaven, so we have a better shot moving over here. This is still going to be a tough one for ADG to try and make their way in.
Light speed from Hugh. No clearing yet. Still plenty of time on that. Refract sticks around for the bird and gets the kill onto Renz. Giza now alone, and this position's been red. It's still not killed. Not until Sacred gets there. 5 seconds left. Does he have enough time to plant? Just barely. Oh, but the snake bites caught himself, and Showdown gets the kill. If there was ever any way to get to 12, that is certainly one of them.
Oh, not like this, man. We saw some goofy at the very end of the round plays yesterday, and now we're seeing some goofy ones today. Because the question really at that point, right, is, well, are they going to try and kill me, or are they going to try and stick the plant? Is the plant real? And Shawdex is like, uh-oh, turns out the plant was real. Uh-oh, I got to get my gun out and get out of there. Making the right call, but it could have gone down 50-50 either way. NRG Academy, 1 round away now to try and secure their spot. Chaotic finding Shawdex, though, as the Viper split gets deployed.
Yeah, that's mid guaranteed, but ADG will just sink their teeth into A harder. There's that waylay into Yoru combination that worked so well, and it lets ADG onto A site for free. Big 3 with this operator. And that's already a round guaranteed, and with the lesser economy, has to save this Phantom to try to take NRG Academy to 13 before ADG can reach overtime, which they are now 1 round away from. It's almost as if they're playing for their lives, Marks.
This is just unbelievable. Chaotic, what a crazy play on the Yoru. So aggressive with the operator. Mind you, Sacred now has one as well. Of course, it's more than enough here for ADG to be able to secure this 11th round. Like you said, it's going to be a tough one for the next round. NRG Academy won't be able to fully buy things up. A smoke gets deployed to try and confuse where Ange could be hanging out here. It's going to be all good. Being able to carry this one forwards. 2 ultimates available on the side of NRG Academy to close this out. On the other side, it's the Dimensional Drift, the Viper's Fit, as well in the hands of ADG. And yeah, take that timeout button so you know what you can do onto this next one.
Not much at all. I mean, Renz is going to have to rely on that overdrive, and that means NRG Academy basically get 1 shot for a full-fledged 5v5. But they have to play on ADG's terms. Because Sacred will have the pit for the post-plant, Chaotic has the drift for the pre-plant, and Bones has the TP for the fake. You have tools to throw NRG Academy basically whatever way you want to, at whatever point in the round you want to.
Yep.
It is going to be so difficult to find a right time for Renz to pop that ulti, get in within the time that it takes for that ulti to dry up, get an opening kill that Giza can maybe collapse on top of and find a weapon. The rest of the team, I mean, everything is on them. So much used last round for nothing. I mean, Chloric no longer has a pit. They didn't even touch mid, bro.
No.
That was just a bigger orb that he was using, and even that got anti-condition.
And like, that was one of those things, right? Like, we know that they like pushing up mid. We like doing that. Let's just set this one up. And then it just happens to be the round where ADG go fast and furious. And look at the kill distribution for NRG Academy compared to ADG. Giza and Shondex very much ahead of the curve, while Renz is next up with 14. Meanwhile, pretty much all of the members of ADG within spitting distance of each other for 3 kills apiece. Could be fast and furious to get onto the site off the eventual drift.
You're almost glad Hugh has been the one to have to ragdoll it, because that means everyone else on ADG is doing their job. Renz sees the moment, overdrive up, and Chaotic strips around post-drift! Instant kill, instant territory gain back, but ADG have mega control of heaven. And in fact, Renz, yeah, now no longer, or now with that rifle, is gonna be able to get back and reset for the crossfire intercept onto ADG if they go back into this back hall, which they have before, but they also have the ability to swap through vent and go for a backstab onto Chloric, who still has to hold close on the sewer. So you still have a lot of answers if you're ADG here.
Feels a little bit uncomfortable right now for ADG. Sure, you get all that heaven control, but what do you do now? And if I'm being honest, I don't think they know either. It's going to be the slow wraparound from Sacred to try and guarantee the space. They just need that spike down to deploy the pit. With the information, try and get gained there, so Bones now knows where they're hanging out.
You can just tell ADG are playing this like they needed Renz to be dead. And he's not. He's sticking around this whole time, puppy guarding the back line. Giza sticks around for a little too long. Chloric stepping out from the toxic screen, can't take care of both. Bones still up with the spike too, intimidating Renz with the gunfire to try to get some space and time to be able to plant this spike. It's all down to Hugh to play police as it goes down, and it does. Now the backstab from Chloric, round 2, gets his second indeed. Bones having to smoke himself on this back opening corner on the hallway. It's a 1v3 to hold on to this match, to hold on to your place in the Swiss stage, to hold on to your seat in playoffs. It is stolen away by NRG Academy. 3-0, 0-3. It don't matter till you got your 4th. And NRG Academy have their 4th. They've made it to playoffs.